Okay, I just started the recording. Welcome everybody. I'm Cindy Geiger for you who don't, those of you who do not know me, and my friend Lisa Tolbert. We're going to be doing this together tonight, and she's probably going to tell you a few things in a minute, but I thought I'd just start off with a little devotional real quick that I read this morning, and I hope I can see it. So give us a minute to get started for a couple people to get on. Okay, it says, walk in love. When somebody doesn't treat you right, you have a golden opportunity to help heal a wounded heart. Keep in mind, hurting people often hurt other people as a result of their own pain. If somebody is rude or inconsiderate, you can always be certain that they have some unsolved issues inside. The last thing they need is for you to respond angrily. Keep taking the high road and be kind and courteous. Walk in love and have a good attitude. God sees what you're doing, and He is your vindictor. I can't even read, sorry. He will make sure your good actions and attitude will overcome that evil. If you'll keep doing the right thing, you will come out far ahead of where you would have been had you fought fire with fire. So that was today's devotional, and maybe somebody needed to hear that. Sometimes somebody comes at you and you just don't want to be nice back, but it's always good that you take the high road. So, okay, Lisa, you want to introduce yourself and we can get started?
Sure. Hi, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I think I know everybody on here. I'm Lisa Tolbert from Eagle Lake, Minnesota, and Cindy and I were deciding on what we should do. Neither one of us this is our favorite thing in the world to do, is to be the presenter. We would rather be the ones watching. So we decided that we would talk about how to tell your story, how to create your story. And in doing so, I watched, I reread parts of GoPro to determine what you need in your story, but I also watched some of Eric Worre's videos, and the number one thing that he said is, to be successful, the first thing that you need to do is make the decision that you're going to be successful and not to let anything get in the way. And I will post that video in the Divine Alliance page after this, because I watched it a few times, and he said, and I'm not saying like, yeah, I'm going to do this. It is, I am going to do this. I am not going to let anybody or anything get in my way. I am going to do this. My family deserves this. You know, I deserve this. And it was really kind of an awesome thing. So in the book GoPro, it talks about the 4 major elements of your story. And the first one is your background. So what you did before network marketing, summarize that. And then the things that you didn't like about your background, and then how network marketing, or in this case, It Works Global, came to the rescue, and then your results, or how you feel about your future. And depending on the crowd, I mean, it can be more or less, but he said, typically you want your story to be 45 seconds or less. And I've seen some of the other videos, they say, 60 seconds or less. But to get out there and to tell your story as often as you can, and the more you tell your story, the more it reaffirms your belief in what you're doing, and your belief in yourself, and your belief in your team and your company and all those things. So after about 79 tries, I did, and I'm not even joking with how many pages it took me, and I did time it, but I was rewriting it as I was getting on this call, and Rhonda and Cindy can tell you that. So I don't know exactly the amount of time. So you guys get to be my first audience. I didn't even do this for my husband or my girls. So anyway, here goes. Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm actually a rewired corporate minion. I was overworked and underpaid, to say the least. I was on the road 5 days a week and never off the clock. I missed out on so much of our girls' lives, and it broke my heart to have someone else raising our babies. Then I saw on Facebook that one of my friends had started with It Works Global. I literally laughed at the poor girl who had invited me to a party 5 years prior to this. I'm the most skeptical person I know, and I thought it was a total scam, but I secretly hoped that it worked. And it did work. And I no longer dread the future. I'm actually very excited about it. And I'm no longer afraid to dream. So that's mine. My first, well, not my first, my probably 80th draft. And I think I hit all of the points that are in it. But as I was going through it, I thought, what do I even put as my background? Because I've had so many different things. The thing prior to It Works was I was an area manager for AT&T, which is a horrible company to work for. And I don't want to bash any company, so I'm like, how do I word that? And I kept rewording it because I didn't want to point fingers at anybody and say anything. So I just kind of put it in the corporate thing. But it's hard. It's hard to, for me it was anyway, and I think Cindy was saying the same thing. It's hard to put your story, and we hear Cammie tell her story, and we hear Kim tell her story, and John and Liz tell their story, or like Stephanie and Joel, or Denise and Brandon, and it comes out so naturally. And to me, every time that I was writing it or reading it, I thought, this sounds so stupid, this sounds so stupid. But now that it's done and now that I've said it, I can work on it. It's a work in progress. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I just have to get out there and have something ready for those opportunities that I do have to tell my story. Because after watching that decision video, he had 4 years in network marketing, and he said to say that he was less than successful was an understatement. He said he was not doing well at all. But something happened. He went to a corporate event, and he decided that, really decided he was going to become a professional, and he was going to do whatever it took. And he discovered through experience that getting up and telling your story is the most effective way to grow your team. And then he talked also about having a product story or product testimonial, and as well as a corporate presentation, which we have the party pad. So we kind of all have that all laid out for us already, but we could just take bits and pieces of it to make it 45 seconds or less, or 60 seconds or less. So that took me all of, I think, 8 minutes. And I'm done. So
that was awesome, Lisa. That I'm supposed to be your co-host.
Or my co-host.
So actually, it was funny because Lisa and I talked briefly. We just we're just going to wing it. We're just going to throw some things together to tell about your story. And I actually, okay, my internet connection is stable, so I hope I'm still with you.
You are.
I actually found the same things, the different steps to making your 60-second commercial or your sound bite, whatever you want to call it, your story. And mine was the same thing. Background. You want to tell a little bit about yourself, what you don't like about your job, and then how your company did come to the rescue, your results of what being in your company has done for you, and also one thing I had in mind was edifying your system. So, and there's a great analogy that I read, and it's called think about a river or a stream, and you are on one side and your potentials are on the other side. And what you want to do is you want to create a way for your potentials to come over and see what you have. You want them to listen to you, So without being salesy or anything, once you start selling that testimony, you start to lose credibility if you start to become real salesy. So you don't want to throw rocks over there. Hey, use my products, just keep throwing rocks, because that's not going to get them over there. You want to create a bridge. So, that bridge will be, sharing your story, your a relatability kind of thing, or find that common ground, because people are curious a little bit about what you are and what you've got going on, but face it, when it comes down to it, they really care only about themselves, most people, so you don't want to go into huge detail about your whole story and make it crazy. You just want to have that common ground and create that bridge so they can come over, and then you can start sharing your story a little bit and making it relatable. So my little story is really, I've never really thought of this. Yeah, make your story, but I've never really sat down to do it. And mine was really, really simple because I know I have to work on that. So I said, hi, my name is Cindy Geiger. I have a background in cosmetology, a little bit of direct sales going on. And but right now, for the last 24 years, I'm self-employed as a home cleaning business. So what I don't like about my business is I have to go to work to get paid every day. There's, there's no job security in that whatsoever. I'm at the will of my clients, and it is very physically draining. So what I found when It Works came along, a solution, because I can, if I want to, work from home. I have unlimited income potential, and it gives me more job security and time and freedom with my family. And as a result of that, I have better health. I can help others. I gain more confidence, I am in a position to increase my income over time. So, and then because I have been successful, it's been because we have this a simple 3-step system that we follow all the time, and we have some amazing people that are willing to help and offer you support and friendship. And that was it. So, it's supposed to be 60 seconds, but obviously, you make it better as you go along. So, how much time we have? So, now that you have your story all set up, how do you present that story is kind of like what I found a couple things. Main thing is you just got to do it. You just got to get out there and do it. When you're new in the business and you're like, oh man, I got to go do a party. I'm so nervous. You know what? You have to have courage, because it might not be very good, but you're going to get that courage to do that. And then what's going to happen? You're going to feel so empowered once you do that, So, and another thing that is a good thing to do is record yourself, your story. Listen to your story, because you need that third party. It might be very horrifying and helpful at the same time, because you're like, oh, and that's what I've been starting to do with like a few Facebook Live videos. And my husband always says, why you go back and watch those? Well, because it's going to help me. It's going to make you look at your body language. It's going to see if you're excited. It's going to say if you do it's going to make you aware of all of those things. So that's going to be really, really helpful on your presentations. So, and there's another thing. So once that you have created your story and you're getting better at presenting it, and you find those people that are going to be ready to listen to you, this was what I thought was kind of cool, is if they're willing to listen to you, that means they have a dissatisfaction with something. So you have to find those areas, and they're usually 4 areas that they're going to be poor in. Poor in money. Okay, poor in money. That means we all know people that are poor. They need money. They come a dime a dozen. That's pretty much everybody. Okay, they might be poor in free time. They might have all types of money because they have a wonderful job, but man, could they use some free time, and that is another thing that they're poor in. Poor in security, like me. I had a decent home cleaning business, but it's not secure. As soon as something happens, and I'm going to be the first to go in that family because they're going to cut back on me. So I don't have security. I have poor security. And then, of course, poor health. And that is right up our alley with our business, poor health. So, so once that you see where everybody is, and you can come right out and ask them, hey, what can I help you with? And if they tell you and give you an answer, then that's your opportunity that you can go right in there and say, you know what, you have this need, and I see that. Would you be open to sitting down with me and looking at what I have to offer? So that was kind of how to present and put all that together after you have your story. And that pretty much is it for me. I had a couple things that I found about telling a story on Facebook with your leads. And I'm so guilty of this. I feel like my creative big toe I stubbed it a long time ago, and it just doesn't work anymore, right? Like, so I struggle with this all the time. So a couple things she said, just posting, like a post a day keeps leads coming your way, but you just want to sprinkle your business. And we hear this all the time. We don't want to be salesy. We don't want to keep just annoying people all the time. So you want to add a little bit of yourself. You want to add humor, funny things. You want to put down maybe inspirational quotes, how-to videos, how to make a recipe real quick and throw it in the oven or something crazy like that. Family outings. Everybody loves to know what you're doing with your family, especially if, you are rocking your It Works business, and wow, how do they stay home? How do they do that? That's like so intriguing and inspiring. You just want to keep doing that kind of stuff. Share your product story, something that's working great for you. Demos, demos are great. Our Fat Fighter demo, or, our vitamin demo. Before and afters, you can throw a couple in there a little bit. Story about your company story. I see a lot of people throw that in there. That's pretty good. Success stories of other people. Ways to engage your people so they want to know more. So you want to be kind of subliminal. Maybe put out there, we went out to the pumpkin place with my grandson this weekend, and I did a live video, but we were all in our gear, so, and I didn't say anything about It Works. So you want to do kind of things like that, or post something about your health and everything, but might not say anything about that product. Let them say, hey, what are you doing? So let's see, places you've been in the press, your team experiences together, incentives you got coming on, conferences coming. So you just want to be relatable. You want to add value, and send people coming back for more. Maybe don't post a picture of that pretty necklace. Maybe explain it. Oh my goodness, guys, I just saw this awesome necklace. It was gorgeous. It was blingy here and it sparkled there, and I so want it. Anybody, lose my voice. Sorry, just in time. So explain a story without maybe a picture. Just that gives you kind of some ideas to incorporate your own story in with maybe your 60-second story while you're out presenting your It Works business or at a party real quickly. So, and that's pretty much all I had, Miss Lisa. So
incredibly awesome. I think we have about 10 minutes. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
I know we put out a lot. Hey, Miss Kim is on there looking all pretty.
I feel just like Mrs. Doubtfire. That's why I didn't let you guys see me the whole time. Look what Rhonda, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. I haven't had time for my facial. But I love it. And, sharing your story is so much like even just sharing and witnessing, your faith. It's how your life was before you found It Works, how your life was before you found your faith. What it was like when it came into your life. And then, I know you can't take me seriously. And then how it's changed your life, And of course, if you can do it with a facial on, you'll break the ice. Am I scaring your granddaughter, Cindy? But, all kidding aside, we really do need to focus on how we can share our story and not and really cut it down that you're not giving them this long drawn story, because after 30 seconds to 60 seconds, you've lost them. Because they don't know you enough to really care. That's really the truth of it. Because most people listen for things and put themselves in that situation. And the reason telling our story is so important, especially when you're in a group setting, is because somebody in the room is going to resonate with your story. And I know, for Liz, she'll talk about listening to the stories, and story after story after story at her first conference and thinking, all right, already, let's get to some meat and potatoes, because she didn't realize how important those stories were to transfer the belief in the fact that could be her story too. That she can overcome this. So our stories are very important, and And don't think that if you're not, at a certain place that you want to be in your business, that you don't have a story. That's absolutely wrong. I know when we all began, like, we didn't have much of a story, but our story was our story. And it was basically how we found the wrap, the first wrap, made us feel. And then, what we've learned since we've had that wrap, and we jumped right in and started this business. So stories are really important. And the more you practice them, I love the idea of doing it and recording it, so you can kind of look at yourself and see how well you're articulating the important things. And when you listen to yourself, you'll say, well, I don't really need to say that, or I should have added that, and things like that. So practice makes perfect. And with all these different recording devices, it's so easy to just record yourself. So love it. Love the value in this, guys. And I love how brave for you to share your stories with us, because it's never comfortable, especially when you're just working it out. But working on your 30-second commercial is going to make, when that person comes and asks you what you do or why you love it, it's going to roll right off. So love it.
That's true. The more you practice it, because a lot of times, like, I remember my cheerleaders, we'd be practicing all our arm motions, like, and then they get lazy and they would goof off. And I said, look at, ladies, you're going to go into that competition. You're going to get on that mat. Your head is going to just, like, go numb. You're not going to know anything. You're going to have to rely on that muscle memory. So that's the same thing as, like, practicing your story. You get in there and you're like, it's going to roll right off your tongue. I like that. That's pretty good. So.
Awesome. Does anybody else have any comments or questions? Any stories? Liz?
I loved that you guys highlighted, Cindy, the 4 points. And I was like, wow, all those 4 points that were mentioned are all things that we can have an answer to for all the people who are struggling. You said poor in memory, or money, poor in money, poor in free time, poor in security, and poor in health. And I'm like, wow, we have an answer and a blessing for all of those. So I love those different 4 points that you pointed out, Cindy. I appreciate that.
Actually, Liz, you turned me on to Bob Healy.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's good.
And he's really good. And I got a lot of great information from him, too. And they're short little videos, which what I liked. So, but that was good.
You guys both did an awesome job. Very, very good. I love it. You guys are hilarious.
We said it would just be funny, if anything.
They didn't like giggle.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Mwah.
So, Lisa, you had something to add, right?
Yeah, I will post the little 4 points, and then if you want me to post the 4 points that you talked about, but I'll do the 4 points of the story in Divine Alliance, and then I'll post that Eric Worre video because I thought it was really good. And then, did I have something else?
We are still doing the incentive.
Oh, yes. Remember I said I wrote a note? I don't know where that note is.
That's so cute. Yeah. I love doing a video with you. You make me feel so comfortable. So fun.
I'm good. Yes, but we still have the wrap party incentive for October. So make sure you're keeping track of all the parties that you're getting and get them posted so you can be entered into the drawing for the end of the month. Was there anything else I forgot?
No, I think that's awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa. That was really fun doing this with you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. So I will hopefully figure out how to make sure I put the video up afterwards. I don't lose it or something. And we'll be good. So, okay.
Awesome. We're having this right after this with Kim, correct?
Thank guys. Yep, it's our leaders.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.